Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Bella, the English podcast where learning English feels simple, natural, and possible. I'm Bella.
And I'm Ryan. And today we're talking about three words that confuse almost every English learner.
Will, would, and going to.
Have you ever wondered why native speakers say, I will call you later, but also say, I'm going to call you later?
And what about would? Why do people say, I would love some coffee? Or, what would you do?
Honestly, these three expressions used to sound almost identical to me.
But today, we're going to make them simple. No grammar stress, no complicated rules, just real English, real conversations, and easy examples.
And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when to use will, would, and going to in everyday English.
So grab your coffee, relax, and let's learn together. Let's start with the first word, will.
Probably the most famous future word in English.
Exactly. When most people think about the future, they think about will. For example, I will call you tomorrow.
Very common.
Or, I will help you. She will arrive soon. We will see.
So will talks about the future.
Yes, but there's something even more important. Native speakers often use will for decisions made at the moment of speaking.
What does that mean?
Imagine you're sitting at home. The phone rings. You immediately say, I'll get it.
Oh, you didn't plan it before. You decided right then.
Exactly. That's one of the most natural uses of will. A quick decision. A spontaneous choice.
Can you give more examples?
Of course. Someone says, I'm thirsty. You say, I'll get you some water. You decide in that moment.
That's very natural.
Or, the door is open. I'll close it. Again, a decision made right now. We also use will for promises. For example, I will always support you.
That's sweet.
Or, I'll call you later. I'll be there. I won't forget.
I hear those all the time.
Because promises are everywhere in English. Another common use is predictions. For example, I think it will rain tomorrow.
We're not sure. It's just a prediction.
Exactly. More examples. I think you'll love this movie. She will probably be late. The team will win. Ryan, what will you do this weekend?
I think I'll relax. Maybe I'll watch a movie, and I'll definitely drink too much coffee.
At least you're honest. Repeat after us. I will call you tomorrow.
I'll help you.
I think it will rain.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Okay, will feels pretty easy. Future, promises, quick decisions. But then why do native speakers also say, I'm going to call you tomorrow, instead of, I will call you tomorrow?
Excellent question. Because going to is also about the future, but it has a completely different feeling. And that's what we're learning next. Now let's talk about going to.
The other future expression that always confuses me.
And that's completely normal. Because both will and going to talk about the future, but they don't feel exactly the same.
So what's the difference?
The easiest way to remember it is this. Going to is usually used for plans. Plans you've already thought about. Plans you've already decided.
Before speaking?
Exactly. Imagine it's Friday morning. You've already decided what you'll do on Saturday. You can say, I'm going to visit my grandparents.
Because the plan already exists.
Perfect. You didn't decide just now. You planned it earlier. I'm going to buy a new phone. She's going to study tonight. We're going to travel next month.
These all sound planned.
Exactly. That's the feeling of going to. Let's compare. Good idea. Imagine we're sitting together. Suddenly, you look thirsty. I say, I'll get you some water.
That's a decision made now.
Exactly. Now imagine yesterday I decided to buy water for a party. Today I say, I'm going to buy some water.
because the plan already existed.
Perfect. That's one of the biggest differences.
We also use going to for predictions when we can see evidence. For example, look at those dark clouds. It's going to rain.
Because we can actually see something.
Exactly. More examples. That glass is going to fall. He's going to be late. You're going to love this restaurant. Ryan, what are you going to do after this podcast?
I'm going to get some lunch.
Already planned?
Definitely. I've been thinking about food this whole episode.
At least you're honest. Repeat after us. I'm going to study tonight.
We're going to travel next year.
Look at those clouds. It's going to rain.
She's going to start a new job. Okay, now I understand. Will, quick decisions. Going to, plans. But what about would? That word seems completely different.
And you're right. Would is a special word. It's one of the most useful words in polite English. And that's what we're learning next.
All right, everyone. Now let's talk about the word that often feels mysterious. Would.
Honestly, this is the one that confused me the most.
You're not alone. Many learners understand will and going to, but would feels different. And that's because it has several important uses. The good news? We'll learn the most common ones today. The first use is politeness. Native speakers use would constantly when they want to sound friendly and respectful. For example, would you like some coffee?
That sounds much softer than, do you want coffee?
Exactly. Another example, would you help me please?
Very polite.
Or, would you mind opening the window?
I hear that in restaurants and offices all the time.
Because native speakers love polite English. Another common use is talking about preferences. For example, I would love a vacation.
I would love a vacation too.
Or, I'd like some water.
Oh, that's I would like.
Exactly. Native speakers shorten it all the time. I'd like some coffee. I'd like a sandwich. I'd like to learn English faster. Now, let's look at another important use. Imaginary situations. For example, what would you do if you won $1 million?
That's not real.
It's just imagination.
Exactly. More examples. If I had more free time, I would travel more. If I lived in New York, I would take the subway every day.
So would often appears when we're imagining something.
Perfect. That's a huge use of would. Ryan, what would you do if you could speak every language in the world?
Wow. I would travel everywhere. I would make friends in every country. And I would never need a translation app again.
That's a great answer. Repeat after us. Would you like some coffee?
I'd like a glass of water.
What would you do if you were rich?
I would travel the world. Okay, now I see 3 different ideas. Will, going to, would. But I still want to compare them side by side, because that's where I usually get confused. Perfect. Because next, we're going to put all 3 together in real-life situations. And that's where everything finally clicks.
All right, everyone. Now let's put all 3 together, because this is where everything starts to make sense.
Good, because I understand them separately, but when I speak, I still hesitate.
That's completely normal. Let's look at one situation. Imagine it's Friday afternoon. Your friend asks, "What are your plans for Saturday?" You answer, "I'm going to visit my grandparents."
Because I've already planned it.
Exactly. The decision was made before this conversation. Now, imagine you're at home. Your phone rings. You immediately say, "I'll answer it."
That's different. I decided at that exact moment.
Perfect.
That's why we use will, a spontaneous decision. Now, let's imagine something completely different. Someone asks, what would you do if you could live anywhere in the world?
That's imaginary. So I might say, I would live near the ocean.
Exactly. That's not a real plan. It's just a possibility in your imagination. Let's compare all three. Going to. I'm going to study tonight. Plan already made. Will. I'll help you. Decision made now. Would. I would help you if I had time. Imaginary situation. Wow, that actually feels simple. Because the meanings are different. Many learners think they're interchangeable, but native speakers feel the difference immediately. Ryan, what are you going to do after this podcast?
I'm going to have lunch. I've planned it already.
Good. Now, imagine I drop all my papers on the floor. What would you say?
I'll help you.
Perfect. A decision made in the moment. Now, one last question. What would you do if you won $10 million?
I would travel the world. I would buy a house near the beach. And I would probably drink coffee in every country.
That sounds like a good plan. Listeners, choose the correct answer. I think it blank rain tomorrow. Will. I blank visit my family next weekend.
Am going to.
What blank you do if you could fly?
Would.
Excellent. You're doing great.
Okay, I finally understand the differences. But before we finish, can we do one last challenge?
Absolutely. Let's do a quick review game and see how much you've learned today.
All right, everyone. It's time for our final challenge. Let's see how much you've learned today.
Okay, I'm ready. I think.
Complete the sentence. I think I stay home tonight.
Will. I think I will stay home tonight.
Perfect, because it's a prediction. Next one. I visit my grandparents this weekend.
Am going to. I'm going to visit my grandparents this weekend.
Excellent. The plan already exists. Next, what you do if you found a wallet full of money?
Would. What would you do?
Perfect. Imaginary situation. Your friend looks tired. You decide right now to help. What do you say?
I'll help you.
Exactly. A decision made in the moment. You already bought airplane tickets. What do you say?
I'm going to travel next month.
Perfect. The plan is already arranged. Last one. If I could speak every language in the world, I travel everywhere.
Would. I would travel everywhere.
Amazing. You got them all right. Let's review one final time. Will. Future predictions, promises, and quick decisions. Example. I'll call you later.
Going to. Plans that already exist and predictions with evidence. Example. I'm going to study tonight.
Would. Polite requests, preferences, and imaginary situations. Example. I would love some coffee.
3 words. 3 different feelings. And now they finally make sense.
Exactly. And remember, don't try to memorize hundreds of grammar rules. Focus on understanding real situations. That's how native speakers learn language.
And that's how you become confident. One conversation at a time.
Before we go, we have a challenge for you. Write one sentence in the comments using will, would, or going to.
Any sentence. Any level. Just practice. Because practice creates confidence.
And if this lesson helped you, please like this video and subscribe to Talk Bella.
We upload new English lessons every day to help you understand real English naturally.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Keep learning, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself.
You don't need perfect English.
You just need the courage to use it.
See you in the next episode.